I was born an orphan in the States. And so they put me in an orphanage at birth, and a Black American family that had been trying to have a baby for 17 years. They had gotten pregnant, and then 5 months into the pregnancy, a drunk driver hit them and killed the baby. So they adopted me. And so I live with this Black American couple, the Agnews. That's my last name, the Agnews. I lived with them my whole life in the States. I knew I was adopted, but I never knew who my family was. And I did the DNA testing, genetic testing, and found that my father is from Ghana, and my mother was Black American. I did the DNA testing. On the website, they showed who they said 99.5% they were sure that Emmanuel Alfred Apoku is my father. And then the woman, Irene Ples, is my birth mother.
Young penny for who baby say, if you are seeing her, will be in my will be check. Why not HO? So we'll pay IT, who they won ye, so we'll pay support. Slam Technology say your number one partner. Your office will US in ye, your office will Ghana, so ye, your numbers need good honor. So we'll share IT classes, we'll hear career coaching, we'll hear support for business, cybersecurity, fraying, na your partner. Yaba wow. Slam Technologies, transformation with excellence. Phrases, ya baby piano, me and wow.
Ebusia for me about SBTV Africa, so we SBTV Africa Connect. Nene komo mba be di me your sister baako. Ai ocha no of America na waba Ghana or Ghana ha. Nene ba be di nkomo na oba se den so be hwe na busua. Ebeti any story, but no on titwi nti ebeka brofo. Yenkona mene Madam Sheila Agnew Opoku inkudi nkomo. Hello, I welcome you. Boko there.
Oh, thank you so much, Amihoye. I'm so glad to be here. God bless you. Nyanishwao. I'm learning. Small. I said small, so people be gracious with me, please.
Okay, nice one. Welcome on my show. I mean, which part of Ghana are you now? Where
I'm
are you?
in Achimota.
Oh, you are in Accra. Okay, so when did you come to Ghana?
Just a few months ago.
Few months ago. Okay, what brought you to Ghana?
So, I was born an orphan in the States, and so they put me in an orphanage at birth, and a Black American family that had been trying to have a baby for 17 years. They had gotten pregnant, and then 5 months into the pregnancy, a drunk driver hit them and killed the baby. So they adopted me. And so I live with this Black American couple, the Agnews. That's my last name, the Agnews. I lived with them my whole life in the States. I knew I was adopted, but I never knew who my family was. And I did the DNA testing, genetic testing, and found that my father is from Ghana, and my mother was Black American. And so I found that out in 2019, 2020. So I've long short. I mean, I've been to Africa many times, Kenya, Uganda, Cote d'Ivoire, but never to Ghana. But when I found out that my family, that I'm Ghanaian, I said I wanted to. I wanted to move here, and I had always wanted to move here. But then I felt like God was saying, "This is where I'm supposed to be." So I moved here. Number one, because this is my home. This is my homeland. Number two, I want to find my family, and I believe that this is the best way for me to be able to find my family. So that's the real reason why I moved here.
Okay. Did you ask questions? Did you question the Black American family who adopted you? Did you ask them? I mean, where they got you from and all that?
Sure. Yes. So my mom, when I say my mom, I mean the woman that adopted me because she was always my mom. I never knew my real mom. So, but my mom, Miss Agnew, she encouraged me. She, was trying to help me. She said that, she would help me in whatever way I could. But whenever I was ready, to look for my family, she told me that my dad was in university. So that's what she gave me a clue on that. But the records were sealed by law. So I wasn't able to, get any more information because the mother, my birth mother had sealed that information. So so then I talked to the Children's Home Society, which is the government agency that had my adoption handled that. They said they could only handle so much, could only give me so much. I told them I wanted medical records. They would not. So yeah, that from when on the state side, that is what I was able to find out. But when I did the DNA testing, on the website, they showed who they said 99.5%. They were sure that Emmanuel Alfred Apoku was my father, is my father. And then the woman, Irene Plez, is my birth mother. And then it had a list, of some family members down on my family side, and then on the paternal and the maternal side. I reached out on my dad's side, and no one responded. And then the daughter, I believe it's his daughter. Oh, I forgot one other piece of this. My birth mother was not married to my dad, so he was married to another woman, and he got my birth mother pregnant. So that's really the reason why they put me up for adoption. And so then when I started doing the research on the website, then his daughter, biological daughter from his wife, started taking his information off. So I believe that, I don't know if she thought I wanted anything. I put a note in there saying I just want to reach my family. But so I let that go. And I said, okay, I'm just gonna go another route. So then I went on my mother's side, and my cousins on my mom's side, they reached out to me. So I'm connected with them now. They live in the States, and then they connected me with, or tried to connect me with, my birth mother. But my birth mother, it actually just happened since I've been here in Ghana. Um, my cousin was able to coordinate for me to speak with my birth mother. I called her, and she has memory. She's starting to have dementia. I don't know if you all see a lot of that
Oh,
here, but so she had memory loss, and she could not remember who I was. I mean, it was actually really sad, because she said, "How are you, my daughter?" And I was like, "Wow," Um, and I mean, I told her. So I mean, I just we went through the conversation and let her know, who Emmanuel was, and then I just told her that we could talk from time to time, so I could help her to know who I am. And so I've been actually talking to her once a week and just telling her little stories and maybe singing a song or something. So anyway, so I can't get any information from her. And my birth father passed in April of 2023. So I've just been little by little trying to find out information. A couple of weeks ago, I went to the birth and death registry here to see if I could find out at least the region, because many people are saying to me if I find the region, because they believe I'm either Ashanti or Khan, but they said that's still, I need to narrow it down more to find out what region the Apoku, clan or group that I'm from. So that's why I went to the birth and death registry. He was born here, but it was 1936. So because it was so long ago, they said they don't have records from that. And then he stayed in the States. He died in New Jersey, um, in Sweet Hills, New Jersey. So he never came back. At least he didn't die here. So there's no death record of him here. One other thing that I did is I went to the passport, department, because since he went to university in the States, I knew he had to have a passport to get there. So I was thinking, okay, well, maybe, they would have some records. So the people were helpful, they were gracious, but they said it was still too long ago, because that would have been like 1954 when he would have applied. So I mean,
Mm.
that's kind of, those are some of the things, the research that I've been doing, and uh, and someone told me about you and just how sometimes it was actually a taxi driver. We were just talking, and he's like, well, do you know DJ know me? And I was like, no, I don't know. And so he pulled you up, and he said he might be able to help you. So that's how I got to you.
Which states were you in the US?
Minnesota. Minnesota.
Oh, okay. Okay, so all these years, why now? You waited all these years. Why now you looking for
Yeah, yeah,
your father's
yeah.
family?
hmm well, 2020 or 19, really 1920, that 2020 was when I found out that I was, Ghanaian, and that my father was from here. And then during that time, we weren't doing any traveling. You remember we couldn't like leave the state. We were on lockdown. So, and then after that, I just really started praying and saying, okay, how can I mean, I had already been doing research online, but then recently, last year, I said I wanted to move here, and I just began to look for ways to make that happen. But so ever since I found out that I am, that Ghana is my home, I was thinking about and praying about how I could get here.
Oh, okay. Did you do any further search with the name that your father's name? Did you do any search online to see if you can get any of the family members or similar names or something like that? Did you do any further checks?
So I mean, I found so two things. Yeah, I did do more search even with Emmanuel's name in general. Found out him at the what he was doing at the university. I
Mm.
actually found his pastor from the church he attended in Minnesota, and so that I actually spoke to the pastor, and she said that she didn't want to be involved, that she knew his family, and she just thought, she didn't want to be involved.
Why?
So
Why? Why she don't want to be involved?
I don't I cannot tell you why. I mean, maybe because he was, because I'm what they call an illegitimate child. I wasn't by his wife. And so I
Mm.
think maybe she felt like it was scandalous. I don't know what words to use, because I don't know exactly why she said it, but the only thoughts that came to my mind is I'm not wasn't by his wife, and maybe she thought me contacting him might cause problems.
Wow. But
Yeah.
I, is there any way you can do this search in the US? Maybe getting information um, from your father's profile or something about the family or something. Is there any way they can do some search for you in the US?
Oh,
Maybe through that, maybe you meet one or two of his siblings or something. Don't you have any system like that to check in the US?
um, the information that he that his daughter had on the website, she took that down after she found out that I was trying to reach out towards him, because you can see, like, once a family member is discovered, you get an email. It's like, congratulations, here's a family member. And so I sent an email to him first. And then, but I was thinking he was older. Maybe he's not going to look on there that much. So then I sent one to her because it was his administrator. And so I sent one to her. She didn't respond. And then she shut their accounts down. I reached out. So then I still kept digging. Facebook. She was actually his daughter. He has 3 children. His daughter was on Facebook and LinkedIn. I found her in both places. Reached out to her. She did not respond. One other piece of this story, which I was getting help, is because a police officer, or well, like a private detective, called me and said, "We found your brother." And I thought, I don't know what you're talking about. I have one brother, but he's younger, and that's from the Agnews. My brother is in the Agnew. And they said, no, you have another brother, Emmanuel and Irene, had at 3 years after they had you, they gave birth to a son, and they put him up for adoption too. Through like different social media platforms, I did see a couple of his, I think it was like nephews, or like a nephew on Instagram, and I sent out a DM, reply to him, or excuse me, outreach to him, and he didn't respond. And so I don't. Well, one thing that what my cousin did say is that the family seems somewhat private or prideful. I don't know, but uh, I'm not able to get any uh, information.
But Sheila, let me ask you this: how did you find out about your adoption?
Yes. Okay. So, my mom, my adoptive mom, and Miss Agnew, she told me uh, right away. I mean, not right away, but the doctors told her that they should tell me so that I would know. So when I was little, my mom did tell me. And then when I got a little bit older, like it was like 9 or 10, then my parents sat down with me and said that, I didn't come from her belly, that, I was adopted. And then my mom shared and then she had a few notes um, from the agency that said the kinds of food that I like to eat. So she showed me all that, so I get an understanding of who I was while I was in the orphanage. But the information about the family, that was sealed. That was a law. It actually is still a law now in the States, because I was born in 1964. So during that time, and I think it was up until maybe like 1966 or 67, where the mother controls sealing the information. So that's why I could find a little bit out about her, very little, but nothing was on the father.
How did you feel when they told you you were adopted?
As a child, I didn't understand. My mom, she would say, I just remember the images of her saying, I didn't come from her belly. I didn't really know, what that meant. And then when I got older, when they sat and talked to me about it, um, I, I just, I didn't really know, I didn't really know what to feel, because I didn't know anybody else that was adopted. And I mean, what did it mean to me? My parents, um, after they adopted me, they got pregnant with my little brother, not the one from Irene. They got pregnant 3 years later, and so the two of us were, we were raised as children together. So I never felt anything. My parents always treated me like I was their daughter. And even to this day, there's a lot of people, even some of my own cousins on my family side, they didn't even know that I was adopted, because nobody talked about this. Sheila was their daughter, and so I didn't feel anything. Now, when I got older, um, I it's weird because it's like I always was felt like I belonged somewhere, even though I wasn't being neglected or treated bad. But I always wanted to know, like, who was my, my people, who were like my dad and my mom, and
I was just about to ask you what motivated you to start looking for your biological
yeah,
family. I mean, what
yeah,
pushed you?
yeah. Because because of this, when I started feeling, I felt like this probably since maybe my 20s. I really wanted to know who's my real family. I mean, I feel like my family treated me good. I was not bad treated at all in the States. But there's people that belong to me, that I belong to them. And I feel that, especially the more and more I get to know Ghanaians, they're very close, loving people, very kind people. And I feel like they would want to know who I am, just like I want to know who they are. So I'm sure I have cousins, aunts, and uncles that, they would love me. They would embrace me.
Mm. You said you've been to other African countries, right? You
Yes.
went, or
Yeah.
is it for vacation, or you went there looking for um your biological family as well?
No, I was a director for World Vision, the child well-being, international child well-being. They do a lot of sponsorships for children. And so I worked for that organization. And so I visited Kenya and Uganda with them. And then I was with another organization that um, where we went to Cote d'Ivoire. So I
Mm,
was there. I was visiting those countries for work.
Oh, okay. So now let me ask you this question. How do you think finding your biological family will impact your life and relationship?
I'm trying to think of a good way to give an example. It's like maybe, let's say your arm. Let's say if your arm is missing, and you learn how to work
Mm,
without the other arm. You just do everything. You learn how to work with that limitation. But if I could get the arm in there, then I feel like there would be that missing piece, that wholeness would be there. And I do feel whole. I'm not feeling like I'm not depressed or feeling down. I just feel that that's missing. And I believe that will kind of answer those questions and fill in that gap for me. Does that make sense?
yeah, I get you. So what do you hope to learn or gain from connecting with your biological family?
Yes. So I wanna hear everything. I wanna hear, stories about, things that family members did. I want to learn about, our ancestors and the things that what were we involved in, what kinds of, work and things did we do. Um, even the little bit that I learned about my parents, just seeing like even with my biological mom, how she's a musical person. And I'm like, I'm musical too, so to me that would be so encouraging to learn more about who I am and who I am because of them. And then I
Oh, okay.
also the one other thing, well, maybe probably a bunch of other things, but I want to be involved. I want to go to family gatherings, and if they're coming together for meals or for weddings or whatever, funerals, I want to be a part of all of it. I want to be with my family.
Oh, okay. So your first time coming to Ghana, you've been in Ghana for how many months now?
So yeah, just a few, just a few. I'm very new.
Okay. So tell us, now that you are in Ghana, how do you see Ghana?
Oh, oh my goodness. I love it. I honestly love it. And, every time when I pick a car, the driver, after they find out, that I'm here, and they're like, why? why did you move here? I number one, I'm excited about being home. So I'm also still learning about the Accra, and then a couple other places that I'm visiting. But I don't see I see the good. And I know that there's challenges here because a lot of people talk about all the different things that, need to improve, which, it's not good when the electric goes off, or it's not good, if a road is bumpy. So I mean, I get that, but seriously, DJ Nami, the people, like I have not really met anyone that was not kind to me. A couple of times I was on the traw and I got lost, like I got on the wrong one. And this quick little story. I was on my way. I wanted to go to the beach because I love the water. So I thought I was going to Labadi Beach, and some kind of way between me and the mate, I got going to La Paz. So when I got going so far, and he's like, okay, where are you going? And so another man was on there and he helped me. So I ended up, going to Bojo Beach. But I share this story, and there's so many more of no one, number one, will let you be lost in Ghana.
Hi there, my name is Calibos, the only boss with one S. Happy new month to all of you. Welcome to a month of new possibilities. Do you know why life has been made so easy? It's because of Tap Send. People, Tap Send is here to make your life easy if you want to transfer money to Ghana, if you want to transfer from USA, if you want to transfer from UK, Europe, Canada, a lot of places all to Ghana. And guess what? When it comes to Ghana, there's no e-levy charge. So, what are you waiting for? Download Tap Send on Google Play Store and App Store and be ready for exciting offers coming your way each time, every time on Tap Send.
Tap Send. Send more, spend less.
I don't care what happens. You cannot be lost here. People will help you. One time, the lady, I didn't have my Momo was met. I forgot my PIN, and she let me pay her the next day, which just was surprising. I'm meeting very kind people. I'm learning. People are helping me learn the language as I go to the market. I go to Central, or if I go to Dome. Um, I'm making friends, and I know sometimes people think, oh, Americans, they have a lot of money. No, I don't have a whole lot of money. I am very grateful for the provisions that the Lord has provided for me, but I am looking for relationships with people that are real and genuine, and that I can build, friendships with. And so it already started when I came here to visit at first, and it continued. One other thing, even when I had gone back, I visited in January, and then I went back home, back to the States, and I had met some people when I was here. Many of them text me, on WhatsApp, and they're like, hey, just checking on you. Are you okay? We know your birthday's coming up. What are you going to do? We want to plan for you. So to answer your question, I really have had a wonderful time, and people are also doing whatever they can to help me look for my family if they feel like they can, give me different tips.
Apart from Accra, which other places have you been to?
So I went to the Abri Gardens.
Only Abri Gardens.
Yeah.
You
No, I
need to
mean,
go
no,
to
I visited like Oyarifa. Oh, I'm sorry. No, that's right. I forgot Oyarifa, and then I went to Korafidia. Oh my goodness, Kofaridia.
what
Kofaridia.
about Koforidua? Koforidua.
Kofaridia. Yes, I went there too.
Hmm.
Yes. Yeah,
What
yeah.
about
Beautiful.
our food and all that?
Sure. Yes, yes, yes. So much, so many different was it Banku and Kenke? I love it. I love I already, liked fish before I moved here or whatever. So just the tilapia with, with the onions and everything. I just think that is just so good. What else? Okra. I'm a big vegetable person. So when I saw that okra was just like plentiful, I thought that's just wonderful. So those are some of the things that I've eaten, I've tried that I like, and jollof, and fried rice, both of those. So I mean, everywhere that I go. Oh, you know what I absolutely love too is the Ghanaian salad. That salad, like when it has all the beans and the carrots and everything in there, I thought, oh, I love that because it looks beautiful and it's delicious too.
Wow. Are you, Sheila, let me ask you, are you married? Do you have family? Do you have kids?
I'm not married. I'm single, and I had two um, pregnancies that did not come to full term earlier in my life, and so we had a niece that we raised as our own when I was married, but I'm no longer married, and my niece is she lives in the States with her husband.
Oh, okay. So you came to Ghana alone, or you came with some friends?
No, I came alone. But where I'm staying is a friend of mine from the States. Her father owns this property, actually owns the Airbnb, and then there's a guest house connected to it. And so just beautiful, beautiful compound. And so she stays, in contact with me, helping me, connect with people. And then we have a housemate here that takes care of everything. So I'm definitely not alone, and meeting my neighbors too.
Cost of living in Ghana, let me ask you, you are in Accra.
Oh my goodness. Well, I've always been uh very budget. I stay in a good budget. So I know I watch my every city I'm paying attention to because I know, it can change, and it takes things cost. And there's some things here that I know maybe are imported, so they're going to be maybe a lot more expensive than local things. And one of the things that I've done is I just adjusted. um you know I used to eat a lot of vegetables. I mean, I still eat vegetables, but I ate a lot of vegetables in the States. But for instance, broccoli is a lot more expensive here than it is in the US. So I just need to switch my vegetables. So that's why I'm doing more okra, what's it, contumre,
Yeah.
and different onions and things like that. So instead of me focusing on, oh, well, I can't get broccoli. I mean, I could, but that's going to be very much more expensive. Let me look at what other vegetables that I can get that are still going to keep me healthy.
Okay. I mean, it's good you are here. You've experienced it yourself. But some of your people in the States, I mean, they tell them, oh, Africa is not safe, Ghana is not safe, and all that. You are here. What are you telling us?
I know, right? Yes, and there were a lot of people were afraid. They're like, Sheila, you're going to Africa, and honestly, DJ Nami, it's frustrating to me because my background is also in marketing, and so I know how media plays such a big a role in what people's perceptions are about a place, and um, the American media has not shown the true beauty of Ghana, the true beauty of many African nations. And so it's very unfair, because then that's why people were saying, well, is it going to be safe? Or, and even sometimes disinformation that says, oh, this country is not safe. I do not, I feel very safe. I looked at the statistics I mean, the US had like 46,000 murders last year. I think you all only had two. So, I mean, to me, that's ridiculous, but no one talks about that. So I feel very safe here. I'm wise. So I'm not going to, go to places where maybe I feel like it could be dangerous for me as a single female. But, uh, I have felt very safe.
Okay, Sheila. Thank you so much for coming on my show. Do you have any last message? Do you have any shout outs? And also you sent me a flyer about your late dad, Emmanuel Alfred Opoku. So we'll put it on the screen. He was born in January 23rd, 1936 and died in April 18, 2023, right?
Yes, that's correct.
So
Yeah, I
the screen, the picture. So if maybe a family member will contact us and then we can link you up.
Yes, I was going to say, yeah, maybe final thoughts would be ways that people would be able to help. It may be that they would know the Opoku name. Maybe they just know, or maybe they could reach out to someone that knows that name. And so that they could even watch this show. And so
The
they could
name
get more.
we have so many Opokus in Ghana.
I know. I heard.
But maybe with the picture it will help. So we'll put
Okay,
the picture
right.
on it.
Yeah, so I do so that, and then and those are people that pray too. Anybody that prays, just be praying, for me, and that I would find my family. And I'm actually gonna maybe start using the hashtag find my Apoku, because I know there's so many Apokus, but I need to find I need to find mine. So and and I can leave my contact information with you if somebody happens to reach out and would like to find me. I would be willing to talk to them too.
Yo, I have your contact, so if anything, I will let you know.
Yeah, I appreciate you so much, and your audience, and just the work that you're doing, all the different ways that you're communicating and educating us.
Thank you so much, Madam Sheila. Agnew
Okay.
Opoku. Thank you so much for coming on my show. Okay.
Okay. Thank you too. God bless you.
Nice one. Makabrofu kakra. Hey, it's SVTV Africa Connect. Yes, sister. No, I be joining here. No, I also share the busia. Nti me de ne papa no picture no the same me de bema no me to screen so it say wa unim ne ade no obetimi a contact so you share ne busia ai o abagana so be hwe ne busia nti ne papa ne di ne late father ne ye Emmanuel Alfred Opoku. Anyway, me da wan say mo share Madam Production Team say SVTV Africa Connect. Bibia e di nkomo pese oba me show no so bia me na Mr. Good Screens no so betimi WhatsApp me na ja voice note an frame dia be disappointed but send a voice note and as a WhatsApp message me respond me dan say and the link no so no me dan say say e ko ichire no ai two
living in Ghana, abroad, a first-timer visiting Ghana, or a company wondering where to get quality service providers in Ghana for any job, then Ejumapa On Demand Services is here to assist you. Ejumapa On Demand Services connect requesters and service providers such as masons, plumbers, electricians, auto repairers, home and office cleaners, trash collectors, rent agents, spa attendants, roofers, beauticians, teachers, CCTV installers, and all artisans on one platform. Yes, one platform. Trust Ejumapa On Demand Services to sort you out any day, anywhere, and at any time. To download the app, please visit the App Store and Play Store or visit our website www.ejumapa.com.